Hi. I beat you.
Wait, why did you do it like that? I was going to go, hi.
I'm being mischievous.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Me espresso.
It's your espresso. Here's your espresso.
That's a me espresso.
That's a me espresso.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The song, Sabrina Carpenter. How have you avoided this song?
How does it go?
Mama na he, mama na ha.
Oh, God. I didn't know the name of it.
That's the Lily Sullivan version.
Okay. I have seen, I think, her version for sure.
Yes.
On the Instagram. Anyway, hello and welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the September episode of Stay of Homekins with, there wasn't just, there's noises at the door on the part, with Paul F. Tompkins and Janie Tompkins.
Yes,
I'm Janie.
hello. How do we do this again?
I'm Janie.
Welcome to Stay of Homekins. My name is Paul F. Tompkins.
He's a comedian.
No, then you say your name.
Fuck. Start over. Do it again.
Welcome to Stay of Homekins. My name is Paul F. Tompkins.
My name is Janie Haddad Tompkins.
I'm a comedian.
I'm an actress.
We are a married couple living in Los Angeles, and this is our after dinner podcast.
And it's coming at you just a couple days late.
That's right.
Mr. Paul F. Tompkins, my esteemed co-host, husband, business partner, and best friend.
Oh, my God.
has been on the road, but road warrior.
It's true. This year is the most I've traveled in years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And I still have some travel ahead of me.
And you went abroad. You went across the pond.
I did. I just got back. Oops.
Oh my gosh. Folks,
just got back.
He's a little jet lagged.
Yes, I'm acclimating nicely, but not quite there yet.
And so I said, we got to do this. I said, pick a night. And he agreed.
It's true.
He agreed to do it. And I appreciate you pushing through and being like brave.
We got a responsibility.
It's so
to the
brave.
People. I'm a very brave person.
It's so brave. So you went to the UK with the Comedy Bang Bangers.
Yes.
The Bang Bang Heads.
Really wonderful time. It was, of course, Scott Ackerman, myself.
I think
Lily Sullivan, Jess McKenna, Ryan Gall, and Brett Morris, who records the show for us. Our wonderful engineer, and we had a really lovely time.
And if you need to pull the plug on this episode, tell me.
Okay, I will tell you if I need to pull the plug.
And we gotta reschedule or something. I just want to make sure this is not.
No, I can do it.
And okay.
But I tell you what, if I do yawn, maybe you could cover for me.
Da da dee, da da do. What is the
that
song?
might be obvious.
What's the song? Mamma mia, mamma mua. I don't know.
No, you got it. Mamma mia, mamma mua.
It's so on the spot though. As to have something ready to go.
No, what would you do if there were?
I would wait.
You ever had to stall for time in any way in your life?
I don't know. I guess so. Sure. Sure. Wow. Okay. So highlight. Do you want me to just talk?
No.
Highlight of the trip. Anything you want to share? Can people listen to the?
Yeah, they're all up. It's behind a paywall, but it's very much worth joining CBB World because there's a lot of good stuff on there, including the Neighborhood Listen special episodes, the bonus episodes that we do for that podcast.
Okay,
are behind that paywall. The highlight probably for me was, I'll give you a couple things.
Okay.
My favorite thing was we went to a pub in Dublin, which was the best place, according to trusted sources, to hear traditional music. Mm-hmm. And so we had, this is before the show, so we had half pints of Guinness and watched the musicians. And, that was really I really enjoyed that a lot. I wish we could have stayed in Dublin even a little longer. I really loved it. In London, we saw the ABBA experience, whatever, ABBA The Journey, I think it's called, or something, where they have their hologram selves, avatars.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta say, I
Are they like invisible looking?
no. Here's the thing. They look like they're actually on the stage.
That's insane.
It's wild. We were far back. This was the kind of question we were trying to figure out. We had good seats. We were far back, though. They have these huge screens. I mean, this place was built for this thing. And Scott took us out to this.
Like the Sphere kind of in Vegas. Like, is it immersive like that?
I wouldn't say immersive, but, they have screens all over the place. The lights are incredible. Like the light show that happens throughout the concert is amazing.
Okay.
But I wonder if you were sitting close, would the holograms look closer to you, or was everybody seeing kind of the same illusion? You know what I mean?
Right.
So they would do close-ups on the screen, and the video on the screen was mimicking the movements that the four figures were doing on stage. So It really looked like you were seeing a live ABBA, right?
Yeah.
They also had a live band there, like a huge live band.
Oh, so there is like a band.
Yeah.
Behind.
Yeah.
And does ABBA have a band behind them normally?
I think when they would tour and stuff, they probably had a bigger band. It was probably not just the four of them,
Okay.
So the only kind of lie to the experience at all was occasionally in the close-ups when the women were singing. There was something that was a little bit off about that, and I think it was the breathing. They didn't look like they were breathing the way people breathe when they sing.
Okay.
But that was the only thing. It was really so well done and very exciting. It was really fun.
Wow.
We saw a musical on the West End called Next to Normal.
Okay.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of it. It's been around, right?
Came out in 2008.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit dated by today's standards in terms of what we know about therapy and stuff like that. Because it's all about like mental health, right?
Right. They're not talking about like, sign up for a subscription service to your therapist. Your favorite podcast is advertised.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you could tell. But
is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. There was no mention of subscription services or podcasts.
Okay.
But they, the thing about that show that I had a hard time with is it's relentless suffering for the characters.
Okay.
It's a family, and they're all just suffering. And then at the end, the tiniest glimmer of hope also involves suffering.
Cool.
So that was rough. Great singing. Great. The music was, the songs were pretty good. Great voices. But not my fave. Would not rush back to see that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else? Bristol, never been to Bristol before. That was lovely. I would love to go back there. And yeah, that's kind of the thumbnail. But we laughed a lot. We had a great time traveling together. It was really fun.
Good.
There was one of the things that we ended up doing a lot was singing that clip of Trump when he says, "I did everything right and they indicted me." And we sang that to a million different tunes.
What was the
melodies.
tune that won out the most?
Oh, there was. I mean, we would do like 6 in a night.
Well, like, what's an example? Because I don't hear a tune to it. Is it like, does it go to every tune?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to find you the first thing that we saw that had music to it.
Okay.
Of that clip. And why don't you say some of the things you did while I was gone?
Okay, well, while you were gone, there was a miserable heat wave that settled across California.
Correct.
And it was like 106 for like 5 days straight or some shit like that. So I basically just tried to deal with my own feelings about that. I went and watched the Trump and Kamala Harris debate,
right,
with some of my girls. At Samantha's house. We went to Samantha's house and she had made debate bingo cards for us. And I brought some sugar cookies that were decorated to vote. And it was really funny because Samantha's 14-year-old daughter watched with us.
Aw.
And we were all like, kind of like reacting to things in a funny way. Like when Trump was like, they're eating the dogs and they're eating the cats or they're eating people's pets. And we were like, what is he talking about? And then we would look over at Story and she was like, I don't understand what he's talking about. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? And we were like, I know, it's so true. Like, it's not normal.
All right, I found one. This is us in the green room. I want to say this was from the last night in Manchester.
Okay. Manchester.
No, I think this was in...
Y'all didn't go to
Dublin.
Womanchester? I don't get the melody, though. Is it like recognizable?
No.
Oh, it's just a made-up melody.
Yeah, we made up all kinds of melodies.
Oh, so I wasn't you were doing them to like happy birthday.
Weird Al-ing it. No.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So you were just making up like that was the lyric.
Yes, and we would just sing that to various things.
And who was playing the instruments for y'all? Do you know?
Who's playing the instruments?
I heard guitar.
No, there was no instruments.
I heard the strumming of a guitar.
No, there was no guitar, my honey.
No?
No, I swear to God.
Okay, well.
You got to believe me.
I guess you're sitting too far away from me to really hear it. Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. This was shit.
Okay. Well, and then others. Okay, am I supposed? Okay.
This was what started it all. This clip.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
That was just from the internet.
That was just from the internet. Somebody just played keyboards under him saying that. It was silly. We had a good time. I hope it's not a you had to be there kind of thing, and it's annoying to listen to.
Well, so no, I'm glad that you guys had such a good time. You know, another thing that happened, let's see, while you're gone, I shot a short film.
That's right.
That should be coming out and doing the festival routes soon. If anyone, knows about any fun short film festivals. It was very guerrilla, like a SAG ultra low budget. My friend Jen produced it, and another friend came to be in it. My friend Monica is a two-hander, and it's a lovely little short. And I hope it turns out well, and that everyone's pleased with it, because we really did just like work for 3 solid days straight to shoot it, and like kind of.
Oh my God, our
air just
our
kicked
AC
in.
picked up like we're taking off.
Oh, we're going to the moon. Did I not tell you?
It'll be cool up there.
And then just other things. Like I saw friends. I saw our friend Phil. That was fun.
Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to Phil. And who else did? Well, and then before you left, we did have a little gathering with friends to watch the final night of the DNC to see Kamala Harris accept the thing. Guys, if you're not registered to vote, you gotta do it.
You simply must.
And you should double check your registration as well.
You simply must do that as well.
And there are a lot of races on the ballot. I'm not going to get into my feelings about politics right this minute, but you know, it's been interesting, and let's just change the makeup of the government.
Yeah.
To be more efficient. But anyway, so one thing I've been dying to talk about on the podcast. I have been saving it.
Really? Is this like I don't even know about this?
No, you know about it. In fact, you're going to help me tell about it.
Okay.
And when we start getting into the telling of it, like you're going to pick which part you want to play.
Oh,
and I get
interesting.
to pick which part.
I'm intrigued. Pray, continue.
Okay, and
By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
And I have permission to tell this story from the person it directly happened to, because I was like, can I talk about this? Because I literally I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since it happened. Okay, so several months ago, a friend of ours was staying with us while she was in town doing business. And we have recently gotten a fancy coffee maker. Okay? Yes. Now, when we got this fancy coffee maker, like a few years ago, it was kind of a big deal for us.
Has it been a few years?
Well, it's definitely been over a year.
You're talking about the one we have now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, because friends of ours, our friends Ben and Julie, have this coffee maker.
Okay, so Ben and Julie, so it gets crazy. Ben and Julie have the coffee maker. Okay? Catherine and Mike also have the coffee maker. Found out Phil also has the coffee maker.
Well,
and
folks, there was no way we couldn't get this coffee maker.
In addition, Jen, my friend Jen, who produced the short film.
She also has the coffee maker?
She also has the
We
same.
had to get it. It was fate.
Because we were we kind of played musical cheapo coffee makers for years, and they would not work for us, or they start tasting nasty.
My favorite one.
I think I'm going to guess, but can I guess?
Take a guess.
The Cuisinart.
Was that the one we had in New York?
I don't remember.
I think it was a Hamilton Beach.
The Hamilton Beach?
And so when we had it in New York that year we lived there, and then when we came back, we got one of them. We got 3 in a row or something, because at some point they just stopped working.
Out.
It just stops working. But I loved it because you could do all the things that our various coffee makers could do 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
This one could do it all.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it had an actual little metal switch. They didn't have to do that.
I didn't
but I loved
fully
it.
remember the Hamilton Beach, but I...
Like you were a tiny little Dr. Frankenstein.
I feel like I know... we've just been through the ringer, y'all, with coffee makers, because...
It's a hard item to land on.
It's a hard knock life for us. So everyone was like, no, you got to get the Moccamaster. And I was like, I looked at that price tag and I was like, are you fucking kidding me with this? And they're like, no. It brews your coffee in 6 minutes.
It's true. It's very fast.
And it's delicious every time.
I have to say, coming back from the UK and Ireland, my first cup of coffee at home was so much better than any coffee that I had over there.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So we got this coffee maker, this Moccamaster, and we've been living with it for over a year now. And we are in the Moccamaster community.
Yeah. We got jumped into the gang.
We got We got jumped into the game.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of us. And then gave us a coffee maker.
So our friend Christine is staying with us from New York. Shout out to Christine. And she was like, hey, I love y'all's coffee maker. And I was like, oh, yeah, I bet you do. It's a Moccamaster. And she was like, I don't drink coffee, but my husband, Jonathan, some of you might know Jonathan Colton drinks coffee. And I would love to get him one of these Moccamasters. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you absolutely should really just go for it. So she goes back to New York. They live in Brooklyn. Not a week later, okay? Not a week later, she texts me and Paul, and she said, you guys are not going to fucking believe this. And we're like, what? And she was like, I found walking home on the street in Brooklyn an abandoned Moccamaster. Mm-hmm. I'm going to revive this thing. I'm going to repair, revive, restore, reduce, and reuse this abandoned Moccamaster. I cannot believe the coincidence and my luck of finding this for Jonathan. And we were like, that's amazing. Like,
how
that's
wonderful.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So then this is where we're starting to get to our little play. She sends it off.
Now, how long ago was that?
It was just not long ago, like a couple months.
Yeah.
She sends it off to the Moccamaster. She hears back from the Moccamaster. She says, guys, she texts us.
I have the text exchange.
But who are we playing in that? Because we're going to do a dramatic reading.
Well, I'm going to do a dramatic reading of the Moccamaster.
Oh, so
response.
am I Christine?
You'll be Christine.
Okay. Well, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Because we're not there yet.
We're certainly not there yet.
But, okay. So she said, guys, guess what? She goes, guys, guess what? I heard back. Wait. I heard back from. Wait, I got to find our text.
Search for Moccamaster.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, wait.
So September 4th.
So she recently. Wait, sorry. Wait. Say September 4th. I'm Christine. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, I found a Moccamaster on the street. I finally sent it to be repaired.
Then a screenshot of an email from Moccamaster USA, from Ivy at Moccamaster USA. Greetings, Christine. Unfortunately, I have bad news regarding your brewer repair. The brewer is unrepairable. Do you want us to ship it back to you, or do you want us to recycle it for you? Please let me know what you would prefer. The reason it can't be repaired is that a massive number of cockroaches and other bugs were lodged internally in the brewing area of your brewer, and some unknown solids were also present in the internal parts that could not be removed. Kind regards, Ivy, Consumer Relations.
Okay, guys.
And I said to her,
when I tell you,
they really didn't need to go into such detail. And Christine said,
I know. It's like she's expressing her disgust with cold, hard facts.
All right. And then Christine.
And I said, it's the kind regards that gets me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Christine says that she's going to write back.
Yes. She's going to write back. So she
I thought you were going to read that text.
Oh, wait. I thought you were doing it that way because you thought it was better if I just read what she wrote back.
What Christine wrote back?
To the Moccamaster. Or do you want me to read what Christine texted us back? She says, I'm going to write back and ask if they will send me the intra-office Slack convo about my machine.
Which really would have been fantastic. And then we're already asking,
And then
can we
talk about
this?
Okay.
All right.
So she sends this response to Ivy. Oh my God. I'm so sorry that your repair team had to experience this. But this is the funniest email I have ever received. This is almost better than had you been able to repair it. I guess it serves me right for pulling the machine out of the garbage. Please go ahead and recycle it or set it on fire. Whatever you deem appropriate. My one request is that if there was any inter-office communication about it, Slack or emails talking about the horror inside, could you forward them to me? With names redacted, of course. I can't imagine how grossed out you all must have been. Thanks, and sorry, Christine.
Now, Ivy wrote back. It's a little disappointing. She just says, greetings, Christine. No need to be sorry. Thanks for letting me know. We will recycle the brewer for you. Have a great day. Kind regards, Ivy. Consumer Relations. So we never found out what the interoffice discussion was. And I would like to know how often this happens. There's cockroaches and other bugs.
Wait, I was like, maybe they were like ladybugs. Because that was like
that would have been cute.
But then the unknown solids.
I think we know what the solids are.
Okay, so what's so interesting is you have to understand the other side. You have to understand the Moccamaster is not a large machine.
No.
So when she wrote back, there was a massive number of cockroaches inside the machine, embedded in the machine.
Yeah.
Okay?
The machine part's not big.
Not large. You can really only make, it's kind of a 3.5, 4 mug coffee maker, if you ask me, because we kind of fight over the last mug in the morning.
Somebody always gets shortchanged.
Yeah. So my thing is like, how?
Yeah.
How did
they chew out the machinery in order to be able to fit inside?
But also, you have to understand, Christine brought this into her home.
Yeah.
Didn't mail it right away.
No.
Then was like, oh, let me get all the information, like no idea that this was, I guess, like had a cockroach impaction inside of it. Like,
is that a standard term?
A cockroach impaction?
Yeah. I've never heard that in my life. Is that a technical term?
Alexa, what's impaction mean?
Impaction is usually defined as an act or instance of impacting, driving or pressing closely or firmly into something.
Gotcha.
For more, ask me to give you more definitions for impaction.
We're good, thank you.
She said what
I thought. I'm talking specifically about cockroach impaction, if that was a phrase that was already in existence.
Now, why would a cockroach impact? Why would that exist?
Ask Orkin. You're the one who said it.
I mean, I had to say it because it's what it is. But I don't know if it needed to be spoken aloud in the history of existence until now. Because I don't know if anyone has found a Moccamaster.
I am sure there have been numerous instances where cockroach impaction was the correct term.
Well, it's like, you remember, I don't know if y'all saw that Pacific Heights movie. Oh, now that we're talking about Pacific Heights, that would be a good watch-along movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since it came out.
That is a good movie. Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm. Ray Liotta?
And Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
Wait, Ray Liotta?
Isn't he in that? Or is he in some other movie like that? Who was the husband in that? Michael Keaton's the deranged neighbor.
I feel like the husband doesn't matter so much in it.
That's not really what I'm asking. I'm not imagining like he's the hero of this.
I will say this: if it were made today, the husband, if they did a remake,
Matthew Modine. Of course, we forgot him.
If they did a remake, it would be played by Mark Duplass, the husband. But who would the villain be if it were made today?
Ooh,
it would be.
I bet it would be Colin Farrell. I could see him doing it.
Colin. Well, I was gonna say I can't think of his name, but he's like, I think he's married to Penelope Cruz.
Antonio Banderas?
No, he's married to Melanie Griffith.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of his name. He's like this awesome actor. He was like in No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem.
Yes, Javier Bardem. I could not think of his name, but I feel like Javier Bardem would be the psycho, and Matthew Duplass, Mark Duplass would be the who carries husband.
I think he's too much. I think Javier Bardem is too much older than Mark Duplass for this. Because I think they were kind of contemporaries.
And he was like gross and he like drove a Porsche and shit.
I remember next to nothing about that
Oh
movie.
my God. This movie like impacted me in a way that was
Maybe
pretty
Adam
bad.
Driver.
Ooh, that would be interesting for Adam Driver, actually. Mm-hmm. That would be interesting for Adam Driver. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it. Anyway, my point is this. There is a cockroach scene in that movie.
Yeah.
That is traumatizing.
As most cockroach scenes
I can't think of it right now. Like literally my body is having a reaction.
Luckily, I've blocked it out.
You don't know what happens?
I don't remember. I imagine cockroaches get into their apartment because Michael Keaton does it.
It's not exactly that gentle, okay?
They have a terrible neighbor.
It's not as gentle as you think, as the way you're describing the scene. Also,
I didn't mean to sugarcoat it. I'm sorry.
Also, I don't know if anyone took one of my recommendations several episodes back for reading Julia Fox's memoir.
Oh, right.
Because there is like a situation in there that is like she has to get revenge on an ex. And
she has to?
Yes. No, but she kind of does though. Uh-huh. She kind of does though, because there's like, there's like this business deal that they enter into that goes sour. Mm-hmm. And it's like, has to do with a nightclub.
Right.
And so she has to get revenge on him. Like she kind of does that too.
So she puts bugs in there?
Madagascar. She orders like these Madagascar like hissing roaches, which by the way, the whole ordering of Madagascar this is I should not be talking about
this. But I mean, now these bugs are just going to get killed, right?
That's what bothers you about it?
That she's ordering these exotic bugs to let loose on this guy's business, who's, I'm sure, a complete piece of shit.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know, you could probably go to a pet store and get regular cockroaches. You know what's worse than that?
What?
Honestly, the worst thing you could do is let fucking crickets in a place.
Why?
Because of the noise. They're so hard to get. They're so hard to catch.
But they're not until like at night that like I guess in a nightclub. Well, you wouldn't hear it over nightclub songs. But she did it in his apartment.
I think they do it during the day if they're inside.
Definitely. Well, I don't want to have to think about like the best ways of getting revenge on someone is, because that means that someone has wronged me. Right?
I guess.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm trying to follow. You're saying you don't want to think about it because that means someone has wronged you.
Correct. You seem confused by that.
Well, because it seems like the more you think about it, the more you will discover that someone has wronged you.
What do you mean?
Like if you keep reasoning it through, like what would I do? You're going to have some recovered memory of a wronging that happened.
Really?
No, honey. not serious.
What's happening right now? I'm not following this conversation. I lost the train of the conversation, to be honest.
I mean, it wasn't great to begin with.
What? Thinking of revenge, like how you would get...
No! Let's take a break.
Wait, just really quick, though, if you had to get revenge on someone...
Why do you make me think about it? You said you didn't want to think about it.
Because you seem to be like creative. You were like thinking of the crickets and...
Well, I already gave you
cockroach
one. I offered
impaction
one.
And
I offered one. I feel like the ball's in your court.
And solid and unknown solids and
I would put unknown solids everywhere.
How heavy was that? Do you think like Christine picked it up and she was like, "Wow, this is a really hefty, it's a substantial piece of machinery."
Because it was packed to the rafters.
Because it was like dense. It was like dense, full of like a portal to hell, essentially.
Yeah.
Also, let me just say this. Mm-hmm. What if Ivy was full of shit?
And they're like, we got another perfect coffee maker back.
Or no, they just couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
And they were like, I got this one, guys. You guys did the last one. I got
that would be funny.
I got this one.
That would be funny.
And then they're because they're just like bored at work and they're like, I'm just gonna send back. I got the and then they're like, whoa, Ivy, this is good. This is so
That's
good.
why she couldn't share
massive. Oh my God. They're like laughing so hard.
That's why she couldn't share the interoffice communication.
Yeah. And that's like, she just was like, we shall recycle it. Like, and they were like, oh my God, she wrote back. Oh my God, they never write back.
All right, let's take a break.
Right? All right, we have an amazing sponsor this week. Stay tuned.
Judge John Hodgman is hitting the road with the JJ Ho Road Court Tour. That's right, it's JJ Ho in different area codes. They are bringing justice to Madison, St. Paul, Burlington, Vermont, Portland, Maine, Western Massachusetts, John's hometown of Brookline, Massachusetts, and the West Coast, too. If you have never been to a show or even listened to the Webby Award-winning podcast, don't worry about it. All it is your friends John Hodgman and his bailiff Jesse Thorne talking to real people on stage and solving their pressing disputes, such as, is a hot dog a sandwich? How many pet miniature horses are too many pet miniature horses? When does a pile of baseball hat ice cream bowls cease being a collection and start being a hoard? Every show is new and different, full of songs, comedy, surprises, and of course, justice. These are the only live shows John Hodgman is doing this year, so please get your tickets at MaximumFun.org/events. And if you are in one of those towns and you've got a question only John Hodgman can answer in his judge-like capacity, send it in to MaximumFun.org/JJHO. This show runs on beefs. And listen, I'd just like to provide a personal endorsement for this. Not only have I listened to the podcast, I have also seen the live show, and it is nothing but a good time. You're going to have fun. John is the absolute greatest. Go see him live when you can. MaximumFun.org/events.
Hodgman Justice. Dun dun. Blast off. We're back from our break. Go see John Hodgman on tour.
That's right.
He is a friend of the pod, as well as a friend of the humans.
A friend of the life.
A friend of the life. Well, we have some special announcements. Mm-hmm. In October.
Oh, yeah.
We are planning to do a run of scary movies, I should say. Not necessarily horror, scary. We have some are scary, some are horror in our list. Mm-hmm. We haven't drilled down yet on the
selection. We've been keeping a list, and this is our tradition now, I think, for the third year in a row?
No, I don't think we did it one or two. Have we done it more than once?
We've done it more than once, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what's going to happen is we are going to do 4 scary movie watch-alongs, and they will be available in the month of October, one every week. If you go to our weekendwater.substack.com, thank you. weekendwater.substack.com publication and subscribe. You will be able to, you can subscribe for free and access all of our free content like this podcast episode as well as our previous monthly podcast episodes. Mm-hmm. Or you can upgrade to access past watch-alongs and bonus content. We have some reaction podcasts that we did to the final season of Vanderpump Rules. The entire season 11 of Vanderpump Rules is behind the paywall. And the last season of And Just Like That.
Our recap of And Just Like That.
Which, by the way, I guess we'll recap it again. We're definitely going to recap the new season, right?
Yeah.
Because that's...
I figured.
Yeah, we're going to do. We're going to do And Just Like That again. But I don't know if you've heard, but they're not asking Che back.
I heard. Oh, I heard.
And there was like some other thing I heard, like maybe Samantha was doing another cameo or something weird. Like they were trying to do things.
Right. I guess we'll see.
So I think before we do our And Just Like That season reaction podcasts, we should do like a prediction, like where we're like, what we predict is going to happen in the season.
What? How would we? So we're just like...
Yeah.
Pulling stuff out of thin air that we think. Oh.
Why is someone at the door? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Well, we had to stop to answer the door.
That was wild. Okay. So that was, we have a no solicitors sign, which.
We used to have two. What happened to the other one?
We do have two.
I don't think.
Oh, the one on the step fell off.
Mm-hmm. Someone fucking took it.
No, we still have it. It's in the drawer over there.
Oh, it is?
It's in the junk drawer, yeah.
So we should glue it on the step.
Yeah.
What if we got a neon sign made that said no solicitors and it flashed?
I wonder sometimes if people even know what the word solicitor means anymore because it's such an old-fashioned word.
What's the word that they would know?
Fuck off?
Wait.
Never mind the dog, beware of the owner. And a picture of the gun.
That's a really big neon sign. That's like too many
I
words.
forgot we were still in the medium of neon.
I was thinking like a nice cursive neon sign. You can get them on Instagram, you know. Like the neon, like cursive.
Oh, sure.
And you can like customize in what font and everything like that.
What if it just says in neon?
What if it just said, if you think you're gonna knock on the door, don't.
Hi there. Thinking about knocking on the door? Don't do it.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So
is there anything nowadays that someone knocks on your door and you actually need whatever it is they're talking about? The only thing I can think, I guess, is political canvassing. Yeah.
Yeah, these kids canvassed for the fucking city council guy. They kind of changed my mind. I was going to vote for this one guy, and then they talked me into this other guy, and then that other guy got it. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
I voted for a guy not long after we moved to this neighborhood who...
you didn't like.
I ended up not liking him. But when he knocked on the door and we talked, and then... I voted for him. And he started out okay.
He got your vote.
He started out okay, and then he got shitty.
Well, here's the thing about the city council in LA is it's like, it's not, the system is, like it's too large of a city.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough representation.
Yeah.
And there's like too much power concentrated in the city council than in like the more executive levels.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, systemically messed up.
Yeah, the government here is mostly a fucking mess.
Like hard to navigate. Like it's not, there's no ease. And it's like, it's funny that we like are living in the time that we're living. We may as well just get into it because this has been my thing.
Well, let me say this. It's funny that I think that LA is a good microcosm of the system in America because my feeling, and I've been feeling this way for the last... I don't know, like 10 or more years, is that America's just too big.
Too big. It's ungovernable.
It's too fucking big.
It's a little ungovernable. I think, and it's very heterogeneous.
Yeah.
And Yeah, but like, I agree, but there are other like, then the other like densely populated countries are probably just as like bad off in terms of like, the greater good or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do about. Well, here's also what I think is like, it's just there like democracy, like a true democracy, which should represent more of like the will of the people or the majority of the people it's not set up for that. That's the thing that's sort of like and I also wonder if the extremism of our politics and the reason why people have to run so centrally or centristly is because of like the electoral college is flawed, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like pushed.
It's outlived its usefulness.
Yeah, but I mean, why do you think why do you think America has become so like divided 50-50 down? And is it really?
It's not.
Is it really?
It's not. And the whole reason that DC
not.
doesn't get statehood is because the Republicans would be finished. And if there was the popular vote, I think most of the time would go towards more liberal candidates than towards more conservative
I mean,
candidates.
we've seen that like in the past several elections or whatever. But like that's the thing is like what's the inflection point? What's the tipping point? Are we headed toward it? Because we all have to agree this is not a normal like the rhetoric, the discourse.
No, things
really
have
been
hijacked.
Bad. There's been like propaganda like allowed and stochastic terrorism allowed and stuff.
Things are really getting bad.
Yeah, and so that makes me like wonder like what
they were already bad. They're getting worse.
But what's the reset and what does it look like?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I did hear someone say like they're less worried about like a peaceful transfer of power in this next presidential cycle only because the current, like the Democrats hold the current White House.
Yeah.
And so like, what are they going to do? Like what is Trump going to do? Like,
we already know what he's going to do.
Yeah, but he was already in the Oval Office giving those will be wild tweets. That was from the Oval Office. It's different from Mar-a-Lago to me. Like
I don't think so.
Like in terms of like a DC takeover.
I know, but I don't know how many people he has retained from the glory days of January 6th. So
I'm sure he's got the Proud Boys.
There's
whoever's left or
there's
whatever.
going to be he's going to say, if he doesn't win, he's going to say it was stolen.
Yeah.
And there's going to be outrage and all that shit. I don't think people are going to be like, well, I won't do anything because he was not in the White House when he was saying the shit. You know what I mean? People that want to do bad things are going to do bad things.
But like he can't hold his rally on the mall. Like he's going to be in
but
Florida.
he'll hold it somewhere else. It doesn't matter.
They'll just drive up
like
to
if DC mattered to them, they wouldn't have done January 6th. You know what I mean? Like if they actually had any sort of cognizance of the importance of institutions, like I guess that gave them more of the patriotic vibe of like we're taking back our I don't know, whatever.
Well,
they're all fucking
and he said I'm going to march with you to the he said it.
Yeah, I know.
He can't do that now. He doesn't have a key.
Yeah, he can cuz he's lying. He was lying then, he'll just lie again.
He was lying then, but I'm just saying like he's going to be in Mar-a-Lago doing it.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is he can say whatever. It doesn't matter where he is when he says it. It doesn't matter where he is when he says it.
You don't think there's like sort of like there was like a proximity like edge to that sort of insurrection?
No,
like his sort of living in the White House.
No, because he telegraphed it already before he had that rally.
The will be wild thing.
Yeah.
Will be wild.
Yeah. He can do something like that again. There's no law that prevents him from going to DC and holding some rally there.
Well, let me ask you this. Will Twitter still be on the airwaves by November?
That's a good question.
Election day.
I don't know.
Because it's
I hope not.
Kind of become we don't let the dark web just flow into people's living rooms or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
No, but people can find it. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But that's also going to be a problem.
Like if they take it down, you mean?
Yeah.
If they shut it.
Yeah.
You know, Brazil shut it down, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious. Sorry.
No, I do too.
Also,
it's
I'm
great.
Like, shut it down.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Like and what's funny is I'm still visiting Twitter. I'm not posting on there anymore, but I do still kind of look, only because personally I haven't found like a real time place
Yeah.
to follow like the Emmys we watched last night.
Yeah.
Where do I go to sort of real time?
But you
see
know
all
what?
that?
I do that too. I have not posted on there since
Since he bought it. I think end of 2022 is when you say goodbye.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will look sometimes to see if I can get, up to date information. And it's just because I'm not like a paying subscriber.
Yeah, I'm not either. But you can follow
I feel
a
like
hashtag. You can't follow a hashtag anymore? Or you think
I
it's
don't
like
know.
obscure?
I haven't tried to follow a hashtag. But because
obscuring-
hashtags also are faulty because you get a lot of junk in there. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I just feel like it's not at all the same as it used to be. And I did not find it more beneficial to finding out stuff
in real time.
Yeah.
People reacting in real time to a thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Well, that for me has just become text threads with my friends, which is fine. But there was a little bit of amusement of sort of like being in a public square and overhearing other people's thoughts.
Yeah, of
about
course.
things.
Yeah.
And there was some kind of like benefit to it. I mean, we didn't have that before, so I guess it's fine. But it's a shame that something like that can't kind of.
It's a real shame because it used to be so much better. I used to really enjoy it, and it used to be a thing that you did feel connected to people in a way that we just don't have anymore.
No.
And it sucks. And it sucks that this fucking idiot who wasn't content just to be like a rich asshole with the ability to buy this thing. Then he had to start doing shit like saying, how come nobody's tried to assassinate Kamala Harris yet?
Well, I know he's just like a stochastic terrorist as well.
Yeah.
Like and then they say it's like a free speech thing, and it's like, no, you kind of want people to shoot Taylor Swift and shoot Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Like you want women to be shot. Like powerful women that you don't like, you want them to be assassinated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's not, I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's, to me, where's the laws on this shit?
Well, I guess we're about to find out, because he had to delete that tweet, and then we'll see what happens. Probably nothing. I don't know, but things are only going to intensify.
I don't know. It'd be
as we get
interesting.
closer
It might
to
get
November.
shut down. It could get shut down, and I also feel like, it is a very weird thing that has been allowed to happen with social media.
I've started using Blue Sky more, but it's not quite the same.
Because I think you sent me an invite to that thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Should I? I mean,
it's better than looking at the really horrible stuff on Twitter that you kind of can't avoid,
I guess the new place people were telling me to go is Threads, and I tried it, but I think Threads is faulty. But
yeah, Threads doesn't do it for me. No, none of them. It's not the same.
No, I'm just on Substack now.
It's not the same.
Guys, weekendwater.substack.com. I like this Substack. I got mad at Substack about some of their stuff, and I don't know. I didn't have a leg to stand on because I was like, I had just gotten to Substack, and and like other people I know are on it, and I'm not good at.
The thing that sucks with stuff like this is that, at least with Substack, because it's just like a business venture, that enough people pressure them and said, hey, could you not platform Nazis? And they're like, okay. Like, they don't care. You know what I mean?
They still have some on there. They just took some of the blatant
Yeah.
like visuals.
Oh no,
were
there's still
off.
plenty of horrible people, but it's like they.
Well, they would need moderators, and they don't have the money for that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not free speech is not like their paramount concern.
No, but they're pretending it is because they don't have the money to pay for the moderators.
Of course, yeah.
And they've designed an ecosystem where you could ostensibly not have that in your face, where you're just like mute or you don't follow certain things. And so you're like, okay, well, I guess that's the internet then.
Yeah.
The internet is that.
Yeah.
The internet is literally like avoiding the Nazis and the terrorists or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Just not having it put in front of your face every 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah, no, I don't want the algorithm serving it to me on a fucking dessert platter.
I know. Because it's one thing to stick your head in the sand. It's another to say, like, I'm aware of what's happening in this country, but I also don't want to see slurs all the time. I get that this is happening. I know that this is happening.
Here's what I want to know about the psychology of a Trump voter, because listen, I don't agree with everything. There's certain policies I would like to see re-examined and reversed in the Harris Walls platform. But I also understand. Here's the thing. This is something I understand fundamentally as an actor. When you audition for a job, you're exhibiting a different skill to book the job or book the room, as they say. Actors try to book the room. Hopefully they book the job. When you show up to the set on the day of the job, your skill set is a different skill set than what you displayed in order to get the job.
Right.
That is a fact of the performer and the art, okay, and the craft. I believe, unfortunately for us, because of the way the system is, electorally, the system designs a politician that has to audition for the job, that skill set is going to be different in the White House. Because obviously when the rubber hits the road, you know, they're having to make 27,000 decisions every day, all day, whatever.
Yes.
Dealing with personalities.
Campaigning is not governing. Yeah.
You know, but when you hire an actor off their audition tape and you see their skill set, you're still hiring the essence of that person, or you're getting that person in the lane of the story that you want to tell, right? The same is true with, I believe, our politicians, you know, where, like, the fact of the matter is, if Kamala Harris doesn't win Pennsylvania, she might not win the White House.
Right.
So everything she's saying and doing is to win Pennsylvania, essentially, at this stage in the game. That's why in the debate they spoke so much, which was in Pennsylvania, about fracking and all of this business. And some people still think that she should have chosen Josh Shapiro as her running mate because perhaps he would have delivered Pennsylvania, although there's not a lot of data on a governor delivering the state that they come from. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's going somewhere really important with, the psychology of a Trump voter. So, like, I feel like I'm voting for someone in my lane, someone that has, I want to believe, has critical thinking skills, can listen, and possesses empathy, and wants to steer things toward that kind of a governance. Okay? Now, could I be naive and duped and nothing mattered and all these people are fucking robots and they're tricking me? Sure. But what am I supposed to do? I have to pick one of the two people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So the people that pick Trump, I'm just curious, like, do they believe in their hearts they're picking someone with an empathic worldview that's going to steer America like toward this kinder, gentler way of life?
Well, no, of course not.
Well, then what's the point of picking him then? I just don't understand. Because saying they're like,
because you like the stuff that he says and you like the way that he is. He's not empathic. You like listening to the things that he says. You like his bullying. You like all that shit. You like it. That's why you vote for him. Because you think he cares about you, which is a fatal flaw for you. He doesn't give a shit about anything. I will say this about the choice of two people. And the older I get, the further left I go. Mm-hmm. And so it makes it very hard. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris, but I'm going to vote for her. Like, she's just another politician to me. You know what I mean? She doesn't inspire me. She doesn't, there are aspects of it that I think are in a emotional sense maybe good for the country. But as I am at a place where even though I go further and further left, mm-hmm. I am of an age where I know that I'm voting for harm reduction. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a friend, good friend of mine, and we were talking briefly about this election, and he was saying he's going to use his, what he called his California privilege, because California is a blue state that's absolutely going to go to...
I hope so, yeah. I think it will.
To vote third party. And I totally understand that. I absolutely get that.
That's a calculated thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
but let
being
me say
in a
that.
swing state.
Yes. But that's because my friend is younger than me, and I think is entitled to have that feeling.
Passion about it.
And I feel like I am too old to feel that way. And I have to, as much as I don't like this system, I think the system is fucked up and it's designed to function the way that it does, which is unfortunately it hurts people on the margins. It doesn't care about them. People fall through all kinds of safety nets. The Democratic Party is not actively trying to roll back people's rights.
Yeah, that's the big part.
And I have to, so for my friends who are LGBTQ plus,
or have a uterus,
for my friends who can give birth, I feel like I would rather choke down my fucking bile and vote for the Democrats for them than feel like, oh, good, I didn't vote to perpetuate this horrible system.
I feel like I feel, and I hope it's okay to still feel this way, but I actually do feel inspired by Kamala Harris because I think she's a hardworking, intelligent woman who has had to put up with so much fucking misogyny and racism and all this fucking shit. I agree with all of that.
Absolutely.
And she's still like, I'm going to rise to this occasion and bring like my joyful self to this position and see where this goes. Please give me this chance. And the thing that I resent the most is like the other side and people who object to certain policies, which, yeah, that's a conversation to be had. But if you're going to push one of them further left, it's going to be Kamala and not Trump. But I'm just saying, like,
well, that's the answer when people are like, how come nobody's doing a Palestinian protest at Trump rallies? It's like, because it's not going to fucking.
He'll do what he wants to fucking do.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be about.
It's a waste of effort.
It's not going to be about like people's rights.
Yeah.
So my thing about Kamala though is that when the thing I resent was like, well, she had 4 years to do da 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 da, and it's like, well, what vice president reversed policy?
Yeah.
So you point to me, and then tell me about the first Black woman vice president who reversed policy. Mm-hmm. So you're saying every vice president in history had that much control over what the executive dude decided? Mm-hmm. Because I call bullshit on that. Mm-hmm. I've never heard of that in my life. Mm-hmm. But you're saying this Black woman was supposed to say, here's what I think we should do instead.
Yeah.
That makes me rageful because it's dishonest. It's intellectually dishonest about what Mike Pence didn't do shit to turn Trump around. In fact, he almost got hung on the day of the certification. Mm-hmm. So why aren't people like, well, why didn't Mike Pence save us from Trump? Well, because I think the vice president is there as like kind of a supportive role. Mm-hmm. They're not really supposed to break rank off from their boss. And who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like we are saying this is a leap of faith. Like, give a chance to this person who is a new generation. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you might see some change in policy. Like, I think that the neutral position has to be taken in this moment. And that was my point about auditioning for a job versus the day of the shoot.
Yeah.
Is because the way that the system is rigged, you have to win Pennsylvania, you have to win whatever. We don't really know which way she's going to go, and we're going to have to read between the lines with it.
Yeah. I mean, look, Biden got some stuff done that was kind of impressive.
Yeah.
During his term.
Domestically, like the infrastructure stuff,
there's all kinds of stuff.
Yes. The student. Yes. I mean, for the government he was working with. Yeah. Too.
There's all kinds of stuff to still be bothered by. My feeling is once they get in office, they don't surprise you. They either do some of the things that they said they were going to do, or they don't, or they can't get them done. Mm-hmm. But nobody's going to be like, do you remember all the shit they thought Obama was going to do?
Yeah.
But it's like that.
Obama he just didn't have.
No, but I'm talking about like the people that were against Obama.
Oh, that he was going to take your guns.
He was going to take. They always say they're going to take your guns.
They also said he was going to activate a sleeper cell.
Sleeper cells, like all this shit. But he was going to convert us to socialism. All these things that anybody that thinks that somebody gets in office and they're going to pull big surprises, whether they're on that side or not, that's just not how it works.
But I agree. It's not how it works. But here's what we've never seen before. We've never seen a woman do the job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
We've never fucking seen that.
I know, but she's not like some woman from outside of politics.
I don't know. I find her to be intelligent and compassionate.
But that's not mutually exclusive. You know what I mean? She's still in this system. She still has to work with the people that she has to work with.
I agree. But I would argue that you have to understand the system as well in order to... But she was in the Senate. I feel like that's very valuable. Like, to know that body. Like, I mean, look at what Biden got accomplished, and he was in the Senate.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be like, Obama was in the Senate.
Well, he was like in the state Senate or something.
No, he was in the Senate.
Okay.
But I think for not very... like a small amount of time or something.
Well, you got to vote.
I'm just saying this is like...
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you got to vote. You can't buy the lottery if you don't... You can't win the lottery if you don't buy it.
But let me say this: if you don't vote, if you are somebody who is closer to the side of Kamala Harris than you are to Donald Trump, and you don't want to vote because you don't like this choice, you don't like the systems and policies that are in place with this government, this current government, I get it, and I don't blame you, and I'm not going to try to shame or this is me talking. Okay. I'm not speaking for both of us.
No, you're not.
I'm not trying to shame or guilt anyone. Like, I understand it, but I will say, if you're thinking about it, if you feel the way that I feel, I absolutely am going to vote for harm reduction. I don't like that that's where we are, but it's not about me. I'm a very privileged person. I'm an extremely privileged person. And so I feel it's incumbent upon me to make a choice that will help people that will at least protect people that are far less privileged than I am.
I'm going to make the appeal to think about the women in your life and support women and vote for a woman and be on the right side of history, because I really believe, and I know our next free episode is in October. We're going to be doing our watch-alongs, but we're not going to be having conversation during those. So this, but I just think like these are the two choices we have. And, I want to see a change. I would like to turn the page, and I want to see someone younger in charge and and I'm not trying to be ageist about it, guys. I've been accused of being ageist, but I'm a Gen X person. I'm very Gen X, and we've never had a Gen X president. So I've always wanted to see a Gen X president. This is not a new thing for me. And you can call me ageist all you want. But like, I just think like we have a good perspective in this generation, having been raised by boomers and kind of looking ahead at the millennials and below of like where things went off the rails. And by that, I mean Reagan. To me, that's where things really went off the rails in the country.
I mean, 8 years of Reagan really did a lot of damage.
And I feel like that's something very powerful to come into power with.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like the boomers, I don't know, they were so like bruised by the 60s or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
They can fucking get over it. All right.
The 60s are like, it's so crazy like to hear about the 60s, because it like when I do hear about it, I'm like, oh, it was just as like scary and turbulent as these
There's a
like
lot of crazy
the
shit
past stuff that has happened like in the past 8 years, like going through a pandemic and all of that stuff. And like seeing fascism on American soil or whatever. Like, I was like, oh, like the 60s were almost as cuckoo. But they had like, they were all like doing acid and stuff. So it was like, it seemed like it might have been like more fun or something.
I guess for the people who are doing acid. All right, look,
I guess
we should wind it down. Do you have
I will say, like, what's so interesting, because I just watched this documentary about Joni Mitchell the other night. I can't say I like recommend it, but it does tackle like that golden period of the 60s, because Joni Mitchell is sort of iconic of that time.
Of music, you mean?
Of music, but also just like the youth culture of the 60s. Like, it's not an amazing documentary because it felt like very like narrated PBS-y or whatever. So it felt very like clipped together or something like that. But like, what's so weird about the 60s is how neat and tidy, or at least when I watch about it or learn about it, like how like it was this decade of rapid cultural change, which I feel like we've all lived through with like the internet and social media and stuff, right? This rapid cultural change, and everyone agreed when it ended, which was like the Manson murders. Like, everyone is in agreement on it was this idealistic time that was beautiful, and then it turned ugly, like after Woodstock or whatever. And then the Manson murders,
well, before,
like, ended it.
68 was MLK was assassinated and RFK was assassinated.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Manson was what, 69?
Was Manson 69 or 70?
I think it was 69.
Maybe 69.
But I'm just saying, like, isn't it like if you were writing a book about something, that it would be this decade of that. This youth idealism, trying to end the war in Vietnam. Like, it's wild, right?
Yeah. Hi, cuckoo.
Like if America was a book. Hi,
right.
Cuckoo. Are you a flower child?
Do you have any recommendations?
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. So I've gotten into, well, first of all, I had to thank Phil for this. I think I've like already recommended how I've talked about, have I ever talked about my love of Jim Blackburn on like the Grit?
You know what? I can't remember.
We have another clock going. Okay, so anyway, for some reason, I become very enamored with niche North Carolina podcasts. And I was telling my friend Phil about it, who is from North Carolina. And he was like, have you listened to Recovering Debs? And I was like, no. What are you talking about? So there is this podcast that came out this year called Recovering Debs. And it is about this woman who is deciding to re-examine debutante culture, specifically in North Carolina, the Terpsichorean Society. Although she does kind of branch out on a couple episodes here and there. When
Were you saying Terpsichorean?
She says Terpsichorean.
That's confusing because it sounds like the word Korean is in there.
Correct.
Because Terpsichorean is a dancer, or it's the study of the aspect of dancing. Terpsichorean.
What are you talking about?
I think Terpsichore. It's like Greek mythology.
For reals?
Yeah. Let me look it up.
Okay, so that's nuts because they say Terpsichorean, and I'm sure that's like a Southern,
Probably,
like bastardization of. Are you saying it's a Greek word?
In Greek mythology, Terpsichore, which means delight in dancing, is one of the 9 muses and the goddess of dance and chorus. She lends her name to the word Terpsichorean, which means of or relating to dance.
You just blew my fucking mind right now.
You're welcome.
But how do you know it's Terpsichore and not Terpsichore?
I guess I don't.
But choreography, which is like dance.
Yeah.
It must have
It's
the
not
word.
choreography.
Right. That's like that. I know I've told this story in the podcast before. Oh, wait, you're making me think of that story.
Panut. Yeah, we've definitely told that story.
There might be some new people. Can I tell it really bad? Can I tell it really bad? Just that my friend Marty in college, he's had such a thick South Carolina accent, and we were in our vocal classes for acting, and they were like, and he was saying like pecans, the pecans, or no, wait, now I'm gonna mess that up.
He was saying pecan.
Pecan. And he's saying, oh, these pecan pie over Thanksgiving, this pecan pie, da-da-da. And our teacher was like, Marty, it's pecan. And he's like, what do you mean it's pecan? He's like, we don't say peanut. Anyway, Terpsichorean. I don't know. It's okay. So the podcast is Recovering Debs. This woman is like re-examining debutante culture through sort of like a trauma-informed patriarchal awareness lens, you know, and digging deeper into the secrecy, the reasoning behind the secrecy, and also like what power structures it's propping up. But I will say, I'm almost to the end of it. The first 2 episodes are so jaw-droppingly impactful. There's an impaction. There's an emotional impaction with this woman's experience as a young woman being forced to debut. And I'm just like really like it's actually informing a project I'm working on, and I'm just like interested in sort of re-examining certain Southern bullshit, I guess you could say. And then like see what else. Like I did read, did I say it on the last one? I can't remember if I read Griffin Dunn's biography. Did I talk about that?
I think that you did.
Oh, fuck. Well, I suck. Remember. What do you want to recommend? I suck. You recommend.
I want to recommend a podcast called A Couple, which is our pals, Emily Gonzalez and Joel Jensen.
Which you have recommended before, because if you...
Did I? Oh, when it was new? When it first started?
No, honey. I don't know if you remember this.
Because the episode we were on?
You and I were guests.
I remember that.
Oh, okay. I've never heard our episode. Anyway.
I've not listened to it just because I don't like to listen to other people's podcasts when I'm on them.
Wait, for real? You don't ever listen to yourself back on it?
Very rarely.
That actually reminds me. We were recently on a podcast, a Canadian podcast.
That's right.
Called The Worst with Alan Zweig. Is it Zweig or Zweig?
Don't know. I don't remember hearing it out loud.
No, we did hear. It's on the podcast. I think it's Alan Zweig.
Zweig.
Anyway, he had no idea who we were, which was kind of like the point of the podcast in a way. And I enjoyed it. But I feel like he fits into kind of like the category of comedy dude that I jive with a little bit.
That's right.
A little bit more than you.
Yeah. I had a fine time, by the way. I wanted to recommend Slow Horses is back on Apple TV. And you know what? I started rewatching Deadwood. I'm really enjoying it.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you learning?
I mean, it's such a stacked cast and everybody is so great, but I feel that Ian McShane as Al Swearingen is one of the most perfect
like an
performances.
An iconic performance.
More than just iconic. Like absolutely perfect character performance in all of television.
Incredible.
It's like one of a handful.
Incredible.
That you could point to.
Did he win an Emmy for it?
I don't know that he ever did. I'll have to look it up.
You're joking.
Oh, I also want to recommend, if you've never seen it like me, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
Which we just watched. Oh, wait. But can we tell people what happened to us?
Here's what happened. We are looking to watch this movie.
Livid about it.
We see that it is streaming on YouTube Movies. I pay for YouTube Premium.
Yeah, guess what?
So I don't have to deal with ads.
I watch your subscription.
And I'm happy that you do. So we're watching this movie, an hour and 20 in. It stops.
It's an over 2-hour movie, by the way.
It stops and says, this movie's no longer available.
In the middle of our fucking viewing.
We back up.
We thought it was like a glitch.
Is gone from YouTube
Movies.
There's a preview, and then there's like behind the scenes shit.
It's done.
The movie that we were watching got yanked off of YouTube while we were watching it.
In the middle of our watching. I am so mad. I went on.
So we had to rent it to watch the rest.
I went on social media and I bitched about it.
Good for you.
No one's heard. I mean, it's on Thread, so it gets buried.
I talked about it on Blue Sky, but also nobody cares.
You think YouTube is on fucking Blue Sky?
Anyway, that's it.
Because let me tell you something, honey.
Let me tell you something, honey.
They're not.
I am going to be on the road with Comedy Bang Bang again in October.
What?
We're going to be doing...
Why didn't you tell me?
You know this. We're going to be doing a bunch of dates on the East Coast. Montreal.
Montreal?
We're going to Montreal. We're going to Troy, New York. We're going to New Haven, Connecticut. We're going to Tarrytown, New York. And we're going to Red Bank, New Jersey.
Very demure, very cutesy.
Very demure. Very cutesy.
Demure, very cutesy.
And then the last Varietopia show of the year will be in Charleston, South Carolina, Saturday, November 23rd at Charleston Music Hall. That will be the end of Varietopia 2024.
I'm going to that show. I got to see that shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fantastic.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Go
Weekend
get
Water.
yourself a weekendwater.com. Weekendwater.substack.com. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do the watch alongs with us in October, which, guys, I can't wait to record these watch alongs. Like, I'm very excited about it.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm going to have to wrangle Paul before he gets on the road with Comedy Bang Bang. Anyway, until then, stay safe.
No, wait, I wasn't ready.
What are you doing? Do you want to tell some
Let's do it.
Do you need another?
No.
Another promotion? Or
Until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay strong.
And register to vote.